Monsters fade with light. And sometimes, we forget that, and we hold so much from our past in our mind that we're not even free in the moment because we're scared. I always tell the story, if you've ever been to my seminars, I often tell the story of when I was like 12 or 13 years old. I had gone and shut out the lights in the house, went to bed, and was just getting comfortable in bed, and happened to look around my room, and in the closet, there was a figure in the closet, and it scared me. Like, it was like someone in my closet. It was like a terror. I pulled up the sheet as if, the sheet is going to protect me from the axe murderer, not so good. But I pulled up the sheet and I was mortified. And I just sat there and I was just like, I felt all these fears and all these thoughts went through my head, and it was just terrible. And finally I was like, just laying there, and I was like, I realized how ridiculous it was, because if it is an axe murderer, here I am, just not going to do anything. And I willed myself to throw off the covers, go turn on the light, and then attack this thing, right? And of course, what I see, turn on the light, go to the closet. It's my baseball cap, my winter jacket, hanging just at the right angle with the right shadows. There's no monster there. I had made up something bigger in my mind than what was actually there. Mental resilience is often about the truth of light being shed on things, sometimes facing it, sometimes finally talking about it, finally sharing about it, finally sitting down with it and looking at what it is. Sometimes it's getting perspective on something. But that mental resilience comes from perspective, going, oh, I thought this thing was big and scary and awful and traumatic and going to be forever. And then mental resilience goes, oh, when I turn the light on it, I recognize, yeah, it wasn't good, but there it is. It's not as big and scary as I thought it was. Or, hey, let me shed some light on it and have a conversation with people, bring out this hurt and share this thing with people. Because you know who becomes really resilient? Communicative people. People who open up their heart, open up their mouth, share with others their experience and their struggles. Because often it's talking through those challenges, demons, villains, monsters, whatever metaphor you want to use. It's in discussion that we other people talk about it, like, oh, that thing's not so scary. Oh, and in processing, I'm understanding my feelings more. Again, this is just why I think it's so important. Most people have never had these tools, and they've never summoned the courage to talk about things. But the people I follow on online, as an example, the influencers who really inspire me, they're often like, here's what I'm going through. They're sharing their struggles, and not as an act to get more likes or followers, but because we know in expression, we discover emotion. We discover that in expression, we can find empathy for our own voice and receive it from others. In expression, we can realize that this thing doesn't have control of us. We get to communicate its meaning. We get to communicate what it is and what it is not in expression. And so I say, monsters often fade with light. I tell people, don't forget that the light in a dark room only exists because of the dark. But that light grows as you open that door a little bit more. And you're not so closed anymore. And people fail to realize and go this deep on resilience. Most people are like just mental toughness. And I'm like, yeah, how about we start with, instead of mental toughness, we start with emotional openness. Because if we start with emotional openness, when we open that door a little bit to our truth, to our real thoughts, our real feelings, our real desires, our real needs, when we open the door just a little bit more, that light comes in a little bit more. And the more open we learn to be emotionally, mentally, spiritually, the more we tend to notice the light of the world. When we close down and shut within, and we obsess about and stay static, frozen about the monsters, that's a long, dark night of the soul. So I want to remind you, you can open up again. That might be the first next right step for you, to open, to express, to share, Even if that just means you sit down with your own journal and acknowledge it and write it down. This doesn't mean you need to go do Instagram posts. What it means is sometimes literally just writing about it can help you activate a different part of your mind, can help you gain control over it by giving it voice. These are skills, right? These are skills. And the skill of expression, whether it's self-expression in your journal, or you talk to your phone and record it, or you share something with your lover or your partner at dinner, or you go to a group, you meet new people. This is powerful stuff. This is really powerful stuff. And I really want to encourage you to think about, like, wow, have I been as resilient as I wanted to?